Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited because I have Christine here from Snapshots of Simplicity, and we did a video on her channel. Do you want to talk a little bit about your channel and about the video we did?
Yeah, so I started a journey of minimalist and simple living, but also paired it with sustainability because I think they really are interwoven into each other. It all started from my packaging background in college, and that's what really got me to start thinking about the issue of waste and where everything is going. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to subscribe as well, because yeah, I hope all of my content is helpful.
Yeah, it really is. And she also wrote a book, and we'll talk a little bit about that now because I don't want to forget. So it's very exciting. I'm so excited. I don't know, I feel like I'm way more excited than you are, probably not. But so it's open for pre-order now, and it's all about creating a sustainable home. So it's really beautiful and definitely helpful. And like Christine was saying, she has a background in packaging, and now you work in the sustainability field, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of really great tips in there that I think you guys will really like, so check out the link in the description. We're gonna get into our tips on how to shop more sustainably at a conventional grocery store where you don't necessarily have access to bulk or package-free items. So let's just hop right in. The first tip that I have is to consider materials, and I know you have a lot to say about this too.
Yeah.
When I shop and when I don't have access to bulk, I like to favor glass and metal over plastic.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of different perspectives, I would say, when it comes to defining sustainability. So for a lot of people in the zero waste movement, it's all about plastic free and avoiding as much plastic as possible. But plastic is a material that has really brought our society forward in so many different ways, and there are still a lot of good uses for plastics, I would say. It's just important to realize where they're going, whether or not they can be properly recycled, and just understanding how it really impacts your bodies and also the environment. One of the things I like to also take note of is the carbon emissions that all these materials also put off as well, and the resources that they take to be manufactured. I go over this in my book as well, regarding all the different materials for packaging and what to consider for each. But just to note that glass compared to plastic uses much more energy and is much more energy intensive to melt compared to plastic. But my number one tip is to ask your local waste facility. Go to a tour and just understand what are the challenges that they're having. What are some of the things that are the most recyclable in your local vicinity, and what can you reduce more of that might be able to help your local waste infrastructure?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the most important thing, is that we could sit here and tell you that one material is better than the other, but if you don't have that, if your local area can't process that material, then it may not necessarily be the best option for you. So just check your local recycling center and your city and see what they can process. The next tip I want to share with you guys is that if you are buying packaged, try to buy a big package instead of a bunch of small packages. I personally have to do this for myself because I can't buy everything in the bulk section, even though I do have access to some pretty good bulk sections around me, or some bulk stores around me. I have food sensitivities, so I can't buy, for example, oats at a normal bulk section. So I have to buy those packaged, but I buy a big package instead of a bunch of small ones. And you were saying that that reduces the packaging by 15%.
I learned it in school.
Yeah.
I got a degree in packaging, so that's pretty cool to also see how it correlates with reducing your waste as well. But yeah, as well for me, when I buy things in bulk, I actually share with my parents at home, and I think if you can find a friend that might be able to use some extra rice or beans or something that you're buying in bulk, that's another really great way to go about it.
Yeah, I think that's great, and I feel like it's great to include other people in your community as well, because then they're reducing their waste too, and it's not just you by yourself. Up next, I want to talk about produce bags. So I really like these canvas bags. This one's a little bit dirty because I just used it yesterday and haven't washed it yet, but I love these for things like kale and lettuce and things that may be a little bit wet when I buy them. But then if you're at a grocery store and your cashier maybe isn't familiar with how to tear bags, meaning take the weight out of the bag so you're not paying for that weight, I would recommend lighter bags. I've had this one for a long time. It's made out of a synthetic material, which isn't ideal, but it's really light, so it's easy to use at conventional grocery stores. I also also really like the bags from Simple Ecology.
I have those too.
Yeah, these are really great because they're incredibly light, so you're not going to be paying for your bag when the cashier weighs your produce, and they're really easy to clean too. But if you are still maybe not able to use your own bags, or if you forget them, I highly recommend using just little paper bags. So this is a paper bag that I got from the cashier at Whole Foods, and I just write the tear weight on the top. So I guess this would be used in a bulk section. You can't really use this unless you're doing like mushrooms or something, or maybe like potatoes if you need a bag for those. But this is great because I can just compost this in my backyard compost. So that's an option too.
So for me personally, I actually also have a small stack of like pastry bags. So it's really funny because a couple years ago in college, I actually did a baking fundraiser, and I bought like 2,000 of these pastry bags.
What are pastry bags?
Let me find it.
Okay.
I swear it's in here. It's probably on the bottom.
Got a good collection in there.
Yeah. They're these.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have so many of these paper bags, and I'm just trying to get through them and use them when I can. I reuse them, or if they're fairly clean, I can also recycle them or use them in my worm bin as well. One more thing to note regarding just reusable bags, I think they're also a really great option if you guys have a bakery or something in your grocery store. So I think every bakery might have like bagels or some kind of rolls or bread that just don't come in any packaging.
Right.
So I use, something similar to you. I have this bread bag I got from a friend.
Oh, that's really pretty.
It says, "You are the loaf of my life."
I love it.
Yeah, it has a penguin on it. So yeah, I got this as a bridal shower gift. But that's a really great option if you want to get rolls or something. But even
like a pillowcase, right?
A pillowcase, or if you're down to bring a container, to be honest, that also works too, because they're not necessarily weighing the bread, so you can just put it into a container.
You can just put it in there. Sorry, I squealed because there was one of those beetles that flew over my head, and I feel like they always land on my head.
Should I re-record that?
It's up to you guys.
The next tip is to shop what's in season. So I love doing this because the produce that I get is going to be fresher. It's usually more local if I'm just shopping at a grocery store as opposed to a farmer's market. Farmer's market's obviously always local, but in-season stuff is more local to your grocery store, and then it's also producing less carbon emissions because it's more local. And I think it's a really great tip too to search out local specialty stores if you can. I buy my cooking oil from like a specialty oil store, and it's not really that much more expensive than if I were to buy it at the grocery store because I'm not paying for the packaging. I just bring in my own package, so that's really cool because I don't have that option for me at my traditional grocery store. And then you were saying too, like specialty bakeries and any shops like that, just sort of look and see what's available in your area.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's quite affordable too. We have a small Mexican bakery next to our apartment, and I get these big rolls I use for sandwiches for 50 cents each.
They're probably so good.
They're really good. They're baked fresh every morning. And then there's another Vietnamese tofu shop I love to go to in San Jose that I think it sells like 5 pieces of fried tofu for $1. And inside the tofu, it has like, they have a lemongrass flavor and they have a mushroom one. So it's really, really good.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, you might be able to find those hidden gems in your area that would be able to more than willingly take your own container to put things into it.
And then also, I think it's a great tip to utilize online bulk stores if necessary and if you can. So there's one that I found recently called Azure Standard. I was looking at their website, and it looks like they have a lot of dry products that are available in paper packaging, and they have drop locations, so it seems like it's a great way to reduce carbon emissions because they deliver to specific drop locations like a couple times a month. I feel like that's more sustainable than getting small orders, like small Amazon orders every week. And I know we talked about this earlier too. If you are going to purchase things online and get them shipped to you, try to purchase as much as you can at one time so that you're not getting a bunch of little packages.
It just makes it a lot more efficient, not just for the packaging, but also you don't have to have multiple trips or multiple, a lot of different
a lot of different whatever, all of it. You don't want all
the
of that.
carbon emissions and stuff. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah. And then after that, sort of like what we were saying earlier, I think it's really important to check with your local recycling facilities. There are lots of resources online that you can check with too. I'll be sure to leave them in the description. Earth 911 is one that comes to my mind off the top of my head. TerraShield is also a great company that can recycle sort of odd products like toothpaste containers depending on the brand. I feel like for me, it's not about being perfect, but it's just about doing your best with the resources that you have available to you. And that's going to look different for everyone depending on what you have available to you and depending on where you live. So just do the best with what you can and don't be too hard on yourself.
Though we are talking about grocery shopping, there are a lot of other great businesses out there that do have toiletries and bath products as well. So the top ones that I can think of from my head are the Refill Shop. They're based in Ventura, California. They do online shipments. There's also the Refill Revolution. They're based in Colorado, but Package Free Shop, I know in New York, they also have some different items. So be sure to check those out as well and know that you might not have things locally, but there are places online that do offer these things. And again, to try to compile all of your orders in bulk if possible.
Right. Bring your own Long Beach too is another good one that's local to here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay guys, those are all the tips that we have for you today, but definitely check out Christine's channel for her top 5 tips on how to shop zero waste if you're just starting and have access to all the bulk stores and everything like that. And then leave a comment below and let us know if you have any tips that we didn't mention, because we'd love to hear from you and learn from you too. So thank you so much for watching and thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Bye everyone.